Transfer test questions taken from past papers. This video is going to focus on temperature questions. In Moscow, the temperature is minus 13 degrees Celsius. The temperature in Belfast is 18 degrees Celsius higher. What is the temperature in Belfast? Write your answer in the space below. Where possible, I would always encourage you to draw yourself a little thermometer. Just a little rough thermometer. Doesn't have to be to scale. Moscow, we are told, is down at minus 13 degrees Celsius. And we are informed that Belfast is 18 degrees higher. Well, if I go up 13 degrees, it puts me onto 0. But I still need to go up 5 more to make 18. So Belfast temperature would be 5 degrees Celsius. The table below shows the maximum and minimum temperatures over a weekend. Calculate the difference between maximum and minimum temperatures for Saturday and Sunday. Write your answer in the boxes provided. So we can see the box on the right, the difference box, is where our answers have to go. So like previous question, I would encourage you to draw yourself a little thermometer. So for Saturday, the maximum temperature is 16. And the thermometer, again, it doesn't need to be to scale. And the minimum temperature was 3 degrees. So we're looking at the difference between 16 and 3. Simple subtraction sum of 13. For Sunday, the maximum temperature was 22. And the minimum temperature was down at minus 5 degrees. So to get from 22 to 0, we're dropping 22 degrees. And to get from 0 down to minus 5, we're dropping a further 5 degrees. So 5 plus the 22 means the temperature has dropped 27 degrees in total. Normal body temperature is 36.8 degrees Celsius. Paula was not feeling well, so she went to see the school nurse. The nurse took her temperature and it was 38.6 degrees Celsius. How much was her temperature above the normal? Write your answer in the space below. This question just involves doing a little bit of subtraction. We're working with decimal numbers, so it's important you keep your decimals all in line. 38.6, and we're subtracting 36.8. Beginning over in my 10th, 6 take away 8 I cannot do, so do a bit of exchange. 16 take away 8 is 8, decimal points all in a line. 7 take away 6 is 1, 3 take away 3 is 0, so your answer is 1.8 degrees Celsius. The temperature in New York is minus 6 degrees Celsius, the temperature in Belfast is 6 degrees Celsius. What is the difference in temperature between New York and Belfast? Again, let's draw a little quick thermometer. There's our 0 degrees Celsius. We know that Belfast is up at 6 degrees, whereas New York is down at minus 6 degrees. And we want to work out the difference between the two cities. To get from 6 down to 0, we drop 6 degrees. To get from 0 down to minus 6, you drop another 6 degrees. So the difference that we have dropped is the two 6's, which are 12 degrees Celsius. Alice reads that the temperature on the planet Mercury varies between minus 170 degrees Celsius and 350 degrees Celsius. By how many degrees does the temperature vary? So we're looking to find the difference between these two numbers. Again, another quick thermometer. Obviously not going to be to scale, we're working with big numbers, but it can go from being 350 degrees Celsius, extremely hot, down to minus 170 degrees Celsius, extremely cold, and we want the difference between the two. To get from 350 down to 0, we've taken away 350 degrees. To get from 0 down to minus 170, we've taken away 170 degrees. So we want the total drop. So we've got to add 350 and 170. 0 plus 0 is 0, 7 and 5 are 12, 1 over, 3, 1 and 1 are 5. So our answer is 520 degrees. Below is a table listing the temperatures in London, Edinburgh and Belfast at midday and midnight of the same day. So we can see midday, London was 7 degrees, at midnight it was minus 1. Edinburgh at midday was minus 2, midnight minus 3. And Belfast at midday was 7 and at midnight was minus 2. Which city experienced the largest fall in temperature between midday and midnight? Okay, well let's do London in red. So London's temperature at midday was 7 degrees and at midnight it was minus 1. So that has dropped down 7 and then another 1, meaning the drop has been 8 degrees. Let's look at Edinburgh in blue. So Edinburgh at midday was minus 2 and at midnight was minus 3. So it has dropped just 1 degree. And now Belfast, we'll do it in yellow. So Belfast at midday was 5 degrees and at midnight was minus 2. So it has dropped 5 to get down to 0 and then a further 2 to get to minus 2. So in total it dropped 7 degrees. So the city that experienced the largest fall in temperature then was London. Look at the thermometer in the diagram below. Temperature A is minus 4, so let's put that in. A is minus 4 degrees. What is temperature B? Write your answer in the space below. Well, because they told us A, we can then work out the scale. They've dropped down 2 points, which means each of the little lines on a thermometer represents 2 degrees. So if we're looking for B, well, we can see it's just 1 mark above 40, and if we're going in twos, B then is 42 degrees. Look again at the thermometer in question 16, which is above. What is the difference in temperature between A and temperature C? Well, we've got to work out what temperature C is. Well, we are going up in twos, so we've got 10, 12, 14, 16. So C is 16 degrees. And we want to work out the difference between A and C. To get from A up to 0, we're going up 2 degrees. And to get from 0 up to 16, we go up 16 degrees. So in total, 16 plus 2, we've gone up 18 degrees. So the difference between A and C is 18 degrees Celsius. The temperatures in 3 cities at midnight on Christmas Eve are shown in the table. Cardiff was 4 degrees Celsius, Edinburgh minus 8 and Liverpool minus 2. By the following morning, the temperature in Liverpool had increased by 4 degrees. What was the temperature in Liverpool the following morning? Okay, so let's look at a little thermometer. Liverpool was minus 2, but we're told that it is increased by 4 degrees. If we increase it by 2, it puts us on 0, but we still need to increase by another 2 to bring us up to the 4. So the new temperature, and our answer is 4 degrees Celsius. Look again at the table in question 19, which is above. Find the difference in temperature between Cardiff and Edinburgh at midnight on Christmas Eve. Well, Cardiff is 4 and Edinburgh is minus 8. If we look at that in a thermometer. So Cardiff is up at 4 degrees Celsius and Edinburgh is down at minus 8. So to get from 4 down to 0, we've dropped 4 degrees. To get from 0 down to minus 8, we've dropped 8 degrees. In total, 4 plus 8 The difference is 12 degrees Celsius. The temperature in Ontario is -8 degrees Celsius. The temperature in London is 12 degrees Celsius. The temperature in Belfast is exactly halfway between the temperature in Ontario and the temperature in London. What is the temperature in Belfast? Again, let's draw a quick little thermometer. So Ontario is down at -8 degrees Celsius. London is up at 12 degrees Celsius. To get from 8 up to 0, I've gone up 8 degrees. To get from 0 up to 12, I've gone up 12 degrees. In total, we've gone up, or the difference rather, is 20 degrees. So we're interested in a number that is 10 degrees down from 12, which would be 2 degrees, or 10 degrees up from -8, which is also 2 degrees. So Belfast, the temperature is 2 degrees Celsius. The temperatures in 3 cities are shown below. London is 2 degrees, Belfast is -2, and Aberdeen is -3. Look at the statements below and tick each statement true or false. Belfast is 4 degrees colder than London. Well, let's put all of our temperatures into a thermometer. Belfast, we'll begin with, is down at -2 degrees. Aberdeen is at -3 degrees. And London is up at 2 degrees. So the first statement asks us, Belfast is 4 degrees colder than London. Well, from 2 down to -2, it is a difference of 4, so the statement is true. Next question. Aberdeen is the coldest of the 3 cities. Well, looking at your thermometer, you can quite clearly see it is the coldest, so it's true. And third statement, London is 6 degrees Celsius warmer than Aberdeen. So if I'm going from -3 up to 2, well, I go from -3 up to 0, it is 3, and 0 up to 2, it is 2. So the difference is 5. It is not 6, it is 5. So that statement is false. Ice cream is put in a freezer at 8 p.m. on Monday. Its temperature is at 2 degrees Celsius at this time. Its temperature decreases by 1 degree for every hour that it's in the freezer. What is the temperature of the ice cream at midnight on Monday? Okay, so it's put in at 8 p.m. and we know that it's 2 degrees. At 9 p.m. it is dropped by 1 degree, so it's down to 1 degree. 10 p.m. it's dropped by 1 degree again because it's another hour later. It's down to 0 degrees Celsius. At 11 p.m. it has dropped a further 1 degree. So we're down to minus temperatures, -1 degree Celsius. And at 12 a.m. midnight, which is what the question wants us to work out, the temperature has to drop a further 1 degree, so we're down to -2 degrees Celsius. Marty measures the temperature on Monday in Belfast to be 3 degrees Celsius. He measures the temperature again on Tuesday. The difference between the two temperatures is 7 degrees. What are the two possible temperatures that Marty measured on Tuesday? Write your answer in the space below. One of your answers should be positive and the other should be negative. Let's draw ourselves a little thermometer. 0 degrees Celsius. We're told that on Monday it was 3 degrees Celsius. And on Tuesday the temperature has changed by 7 degrees. So we could either go up by 7 degrees Celsius or the temperature could drop by 7 degrees Celsius. If it goes up, well, we're just adding on 7 to 3, so one of our answers, one possibility is 10 degrees. If it drops by 7 degrees, first if I drop by 3 it gets me onto 0, and I still need to drop by a further 4 because 3 and 4 make the 7, so my temperature would be -4. So our two answers are 10 degrees Celsius or -4 degrees Celsius. The temperature in the fridge section of the fridge freezer is 5 degrees Celsius. The temperature in the freezer section is 23 degrees lower. What is the temperature in the freezer section? Again, another little thermometer will help us. There's our 0 degrees. Our fridge is up at 5 degrees. And we're told that the freezer is 23 degrees lower. Well, if I drop 5 degrees, it puts me on to 0. I still need to drop another 18, because 5 and 18, that would give me the drop of 23 degrees Celsius. So my temperature in the freezer is minus 18 degrees Celsius.